LSU. They're taking on number 14 Texas A&M. A&M a 2.5-point favorite in that game, over under 53.5. And I think we should start off by asking the question. This has been the biggest game for Texas A&M since.
Definitely the biggest game against LSU. I mean, this could keep them, again, with one loss, but like this could set up a major clash with Texas at the end of the season. That they could be playing for a playoff spot. I mean, it feels, gosh, I don't know. I don't know. Biggest game since what? I mean, the attention.
Since Johnny Manziel beat Alabama?
I was kind of thinking that. I'm sure there's something that was like maybe a top 15 game or showdown or something, but like the Jimbo Fisher era, these 8-4 teams, like there definitely were big games. They didn't win them, but like in terms of this could go either way. Yeah, maybe it is the Johnny Manziel teams, because he always gave you a chance against the best teams in the country. And what's interesting about this game, and really where I think it's going to be decided, is the quarterback position for A&M. Again, they don't have Johnny Manziel. They don't have someone who is that sure of a thing. This is Connor Wegman, who we've seen be really, really good. We've seen him be not very good, and we've seen him be okay. So like which version of him shows up in this game? Obviously they like to run the ball and they should be able to do that. LSU prefers to pass. They should be able to do that. I really think it's going to come down to Wegman, because like I just said, I like Garrett Nussmeier a lot. I trust him, and we've seen him come back in games with his back against the wall. Can Connor Wegman do that? Can he do it if he needs to? I mean, even in that game against Missouri, it was really that run game that opened everything else up and allowed him to do what he needed to do to get the win as a passer. But I just don't know. He's just such a wild card in this matchup, and I really think it's going to come down to this. And it could go either way. I know I'm higher on LSU coming in, but I really think like this will clarify, the third best team from the SEC for now, and like the team that will have a really good chance of making a playoff, because this is going to be a really high quality win for whoever wins it.
Agreed on all fronts there. It's I'm believing that Connor Wegman is going to have a solid game here. And I mentioned LSU's defense is starting to play better. Like, I still do have questions about like how high quality can that defense be? And this might be a game where we find that out. I'm going to roll with A&M here. As you mentioned, we're talking about potential college football playoff, and we're also talking about the stakes in their rivalry game, as you mentioned, against Texas at the end of the year. For folks who are unfamiliar, this was one of the most heated rivalries in college football, and then it went away, and now we're getting it back. And like it could mean much more if Texas A&M can come into that game, unscathed in conference. So I'm leaning toward A&M to be able to pull this off. I like Mike Elko a lot.
I do too. And I think, we're seeing why they hired him already with the growth that we've seen from the season. I'm going to take the Tigers in this one, even though they have not fared all that well away from home in the Brian Kelly era. Oh man, am I talking myself into A&M actually? I feel like I am.
You might be.
All right, I'm going to eventually.
Don't let me influence you.
I think you changed my mind, and then also thinking about like Brian Kelly's, they've been good at home, but this game is at Kyle Field, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. I'm going to take the Aggies as well.